So we've had motorhomes in the past. We love motorhomes, we love camping, but they're always kind of a pain. You know, it's because our last one was 32 foot, and so trying to figure out where to camp at, and what reservations, and where to store it, you know? And so we got rid of that, and then we were trying to figure out what's next. Then I started seeing all this van life stuff, and I just fell in love with it. So started looking around and really was infatuated with the Promaster. That just to be able to have the sleeping east to west and being able to have a front wheel drive that's just going to be, you know, easier in the snow or in dirt. So $14,000 for the van. It was a delivery van, so nothing inside at all. But it's kind of a little beat up, but mechanically it was sound. And then we figured we got like $6,000, maybe $7,000 in the build. So for 20 grand, we can try this and experiment and see how it goes, and we've just been in love with it. I'm Rich.
I'm Robin, and this is our midlife van.
This is our 2014 Ram Promaster. It's a V6 with automatic transmission. I think they came with two different powertrains. One was a diesel that was really popular in Europe, but in the United States it's mostly the V6s, and it's actually pretty good power. It does really good on hills and towing, and so it's been a nice vehicle for us. Well, our main intent was to try to not have any shore power and not try to rely on connecting. So we went with 500 watts of solar, and then we also have 425 amps of amp hour AGM glass mat batteries, and then we have a 3,000 watt inverter to handle all of our electrical needs. And then we also have 2 Maxi-Air fans. So really nice on that is you actually can reverse them, so you can have air come into one and out the other. And so even in the summer, it actually gives a real nice airflow throughout the van. When we got the van, so we got really lucky. We started looking at Sprinters. We're trying to figure out for transits. And then the real nice appeal on the Promaster is its front wheel drive. So it does pretty good on off-road. So a lot of the campsites we go to, it's really rugged. And so when we first got it, it actually had a mix of tires, and it had some all-terrains in the front. And so then we have these tires, and they're really not real aggressive, and they won't make a lot of noise, but they're really nice going through sand and dirt to get into our campsites.
I had drawn out a bunch of layouts on graph paper on different layouts that we saw in person, and I knew I wanted my sink to face out, so when I'm doing the dishes or if I'm cooking on the counter, I can see outside. I wanted a bench on this side so I could sit and enjoy the view of the ocean, the desert, the mountains. He really wanted the fixed bed for the bike storage, so that was a no negotiator. Then when he bought the van, I said, okay, well, I get my refrigerator. So he had to build his solar and his electrical and his batteries around my cute little fridge. So one of the first things that Rich installed was the dual swivel seats. So that has been really nice for me to sit and watch him do some builds. Also, when we're out traveling, most of the time when we eat, Rich sits in the passenger seat, and so I put my feet up and we enjoy a meal. We bought, one of our first shopping trips was to IKEA. And so at IKEA, they had this little sofa table. It was a little small table on this bracket. It was like 12 bucks. Bought it, got rid of the little table, put a piece of scrap wood on it, stained it up, installed the mount on the side of the bench, and we had a temporary table, which is now kind of permanent. So we have lots of storage up here. Got the gimbal for shooting video and photos and some extra stuff. And then up here, we have a table that we hang on the outside when we're cooking outside, and we have the curtain. So if we just want to put the curtain down and not put the window shades up. So one of the first things that I built was this bench to go around Rich's electrical system.
We have 3 glass mat batteries, so that gives us 425 amps hours of battery. Then we also have all the solar controller coming into here. We're able to check to see how much amperage we're using. And then also we have a 3,000 watt inverter for all of our AC needs. So that's enough to do our blender, our Instapot. We have a induction stove, and so it's really nice to be able to just not have to connect anywhere. So we started off being self-contained with a porta potty, and we went with a cassette toilet. We were looking at the compost ones, and it's a really nice idea, but in actuality trying to use that is kind of a pain. So the cassette toilets are really nice, and so we built this up. We originally had this area designated for the toilet. Then we thought, well, I really wanted to have a shower, so we kind of went through a whole bunch of ideas. One of the ideas was to have it totally enclosed and have it all the way up and then have a knotless door. But it just takes up too much room in the van, so we actually did a really nice compromise, and we ended up going with this kind of half a shower. And so there's actually, I put hooks here, and I have a 180-degree shower curtain that comes in, and then it's real easy to be able to, we have the shower wand, you can hold here while you're showering, or you can actually then put it up here too, and then be able to shower down on you. So
the shelf up here I built because we needed even more storage on our first long trip. Last summer we went for the first time on a week-long trip to the Redwoods. So we needed a little extra storage. So it's just a basic, little frame box. And these bags from Amazon fit perfectly in there. So we have bathroom stuff, we have some fruit, Robin's bathroom stuff, and then some extra storage in the end. So one of our first shopping trips at IKEA, we got this farmhouse sink and the ButcherBox countertops for our cabinet. And I loved the farmhouse sink. That was kind of one of those must-haves for me. The size of the sink. We did a cutout with the countertop to have this extra spot for prepping food. But before we finished our shower area, this was also my little bath, especially foot bath. I'd sit up on the counter and I'd clean up my feet if we were at the beach or whatever. The faucet is also great because if you're at the beach, you just swing it around and you can clean up outside or shower outside as well. So this cabinet stores our water, our fresh water, which is hooked up to our faucet. We have extra cleaning supplies. We have our paper towel holder here. We have extra paper towels and some other cleaning stuff, and our fire blanket in case of emergency.
What's really nice is instead of relying on filter and for our drinking water, what we do is we have a 5-gallon Sparklets jug, and then we just use one of these marine pumps here to be able to get all of our drinking water. And then we have our soap, and then we have hot and cold water through here, which is through our 4-gallon hot water heater. And then we also carry another 3 gallons of spare drinking water, and of course essential to have a fire extinguisher and carbon monoxide and smoke detector.
So this is just a regular mini fridge, dorm fridge that you would get for a small space, and we actually picked this up at Target. One of the reasons that we love this fridge is because, like I said, we do smoothies every day, and it has a very large freezer space. The fridge is pretty spacious as well. So the backsplash, I had the vinyl tiles left over from another project at our house that I never used, so this was a perfect spot for me to use them. I built this little shelf here. It has all our powders in it. We have protein powder, we have glutamine, we have some other sports drink powders, and flavored chocolate protein powder if we want that, a little jar of nuts, we got some seasoning. So it was a nice shelf to build for all the things that we use every day. For the countertop on this other side, for it to attach to, I built this little shelving. I always loved how those vans had the pull out, the slide shelves. It's so cool. Well, that seemed like a lot of work. So I just built the shelves, and then I have the pull out baskets. So we have our silverware, some other storage with some other cups and stuff down here. So was really easy to build and has been a great little wall to add to kind of divide the bed, a little electrical for us, and have a spot to secure the countertop too.
The last addition we put in was a diesel heater. So it was really nice to be able to have when it's cold on the winters, trying to figure out what's the best way to get some heat in here. And so they have the Webasto heaters out there, but they're like $1,200. But I've been looking at, they have the knockoff Chinese diesel heaters, and they've been really good reviews. End up getting one for 120 bucks, installed it, and it works really well. And you can either use diesel or kerosene, and it was really nice. We found this odorless kerosene that we can use, and it's no smell, and it's clear, and it doesn't coke up the heater. We routed the heater outlet right here. I wanted to have the heater in the garage, and so it's a real nice little short run coming right through here, and then it comes and just heats us, and it just points right up to the bed. So it works out really well. So we were trying to figure out what's the best way to have easy controls. And so in the past, we've had motorhomes, and it was always nice to be able to open the door and have all the controls there. So we were trying to figure out, should we have it up on the ceiling? But it's really nice to be able to open the door and be able to have access to here. So we have, for the front lights, so we have all the LED puck lights here, really easy dimmer control. And then we also have the outlet, but then we also have the hot water heater control here. So we don't have to worry about, and we can visually see if it's on or not. Water pump switch, and then we have USBs and 12 volt power, and of course my bottle opener for my beers.
About a year ago, our son helped me build these cabinets. So we have one for our food, everyday glassware kind of things. We have our toothbrushes hung up on the wall in there, and our toothbrush makes it easy right by the sink. And then Rich has almost one cabinet, and Robin has 2 baskets in 1 1/3 cabinets. Everything condenses down so well that we could probably go for a couple weeks without even doing laundry, which is great. And then you can't see right now because it's light out, but we have these motion detector magnetic lights that are great at night, especially if you want to just not turn any lights on, be a little stealth, or see what's in your cabinet. So after a couple trips, of course, longer trips, you might need more storage, or you start to get an idea of where you want your things. So we built not only these 2 drawers, but also this slide, which just helps get in and out of the bed, especially at night when you're tired and you don't want to slip. And then we did put the locks because we started to get some heavy stuff in here. So we installed locks, and in this top drawer, we've got an induction stove. We've got a little electric skillet. So we have plates and bowls. The bottom drawer is just a little more food, some extra beer, some extra sodas, and just more storage. So with the fixed bed, we decided to go this way because in the ProMaster, we being 5'10" each, could just fit perfectly without having to do the bump outs, which would save us space this other direction for our living space. So that worked out really good for us. So it's a queen short, and then we have a memory foam mattress, and I bought a pillow topper because it wasn't quite thick enough or soft enough for me, and then I just bought another pillow topper of a memory foam, 3 inches on top of that, and now it's much better for me. So with back issues and such, it made it a lot better. So we really love that bed. It's a metal frame bed. And so when you lift this up, we have storage underneath, and then it turns into a couch. We built this bed by design to be like a couch going out the back doors. So I said, well, why not do a little storage? So on the right side, we have a little shallow for some extra clothing, and on the left side we have just extra food in case we ever need extra food, some extra canned goods, some extra sodas, some extra dry goods, and a couple more pots and pans. So this is probably one thing that I would change up a little bit because we've hit our head a few times. It was kind of one of those fast build things, like we're going out again, we need power. This is where we charge our phones. We have more power. We have a light switch underneath. And then, like I said, charge our phones up here, or we actually have an outlet to charge the laptop as well. And then we have little baskets with our stuff that we may need at night.
So we were trying to figure out the whole configuration, and we really like to have a permanent bed. And really another must for us was to have a garage. And so it was nice to be able to have a garage where we can keep our bikes and then have everything else. It's a mess, but that's kind of how we live, and we try to keep everything with us. And we have emergency supplies. We have the 2 bikes in there. We have our bike accessories with helmets. We have max tracks just in case we get stuck. So far, knock on wood, we haven't had to use those. Our chairs, tables. We also have it's called Moonshade. So it's a portable awning that connects on the side, and it's really nice because it's not a $2,000 investment for an awning, but it's also nice, and we actually even used it on the Jeep too. So it's a nice product and easy to put up. And then we have a 24-gallon freshwater tank, and then also a 4-gallon electric water heater, and so it takes care of all of our needs. Also inside we have 5 gallons of drinking water. And then we also carry another 3 gallons because we drink probably each like a gallon a day. So So this is our Jeep Wrangler. It's our TJ, and it's been fun to go out to the desert. So most of the time when we go places, we just take the van. So it's real nice to be able to just take the van and go wherever we want. But now when we want to go to the desert, like we're going to go out to Ocotillo this afternoon, it's real nice to be able to then just tow the Jeep behind the van. And the van does really well, especially on the 3500. The brakes are really nice and they're really stout, and it tows and you pretty much forget it's back there. Honestly speaking, if I originally thought van life was just homeless people, and it's like, well, why aren't they in a house, and that was before, and now it opens up my eyes and opens up our eyes to be able to see that no, it's a lifestyle, it's a choice that a lot of people are making.
To be minimalist and don't use up so much resources and just be contained with little things and not have to have this big view of the world and that. I definitely feel more free that we can just get up and go someplace. If we feel like we need an escape, we can just head to the beach, head to the mountains, head to the desert, especially being in Southern California. Within a little over an hour, there's 3 different climates.
Before with the motorhome, we were always kind of constrained with, okay, we got to make a reservation. And like Robin said, it's really hard to find, campsites for in California. And so we end up not using it that much. I mean, and we would literally be sitting in storage for months at a time and kind of forgetting about that, and then just kind of do it. Now, I mean, it's like, I wouldn't say every weekend, but we're out a lot, just because we can. We can just take these 2 little areas, and most of the time we don't even know where we're going. We're just like, we think we're going to stay here, and then we end up saying, no, you know what, we found on, one of the apps that, somebody gave a good review of where to stay, in this little Vista Point or so, and we'll just stay there and just go. And so it makes it so much more free.
Yeah, we were probably from June till now, maybe once a month going, maybe twice a month if we were lucky. And so, since December, we've been twice a month. And so hopefully we'll get a little more to almost full time. You can follow us on Instagram. It's at Our Midlife Van. We've started a YouTube channel. It's also Our Midlife Van, that hopefully as we get into those longer travels, we'll start posting more travel videos.
Robin didn't want me to have so much smoothie.
This is probably the second time I've spilled the smoothie after I made the smoothie, but we have these great on Amazon. These are our screen doors. So the screen doors.
Sorry, you don't have to talk about
everything
that's
okay.
in there.
Okay.
I love that. Oh, and one more question. Who's your favorite YouTube channel?
Amen and Beck.
No.
Oh, wait a second. I'm sorry. I messed that up. Ask again. I got it. I got it now. Ask again.
It's okay. You have to say Travis.
Travis Travels.